All right. Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Madhur Singh, and today I will be taking this session on 10 best skills you need to acquire in 2022. So, before starting, please let me know that if I am clearly audible and visible to you all, and if my screen is visible as well, please let me know with a yes or a no in the chat box. Hello, Sahil. Hello, Mohammed. Hello, Ranjit. Welcome to the session. Please let me know if I am clearly audible and visible to you all. Thank you, Sneha. Thank you, Ranjit. Okay, so we'll start this session about 10 best skills that you need to acquire in 2022. So the first thing that comes to our mind is why do we even need to, upskill ourselves, or why do we need to get those best skills in 2022? What is the need for it, right? So let me talk about the agenda of this session. So we'll talk about why do we need to upskill ourselves in 2022. Then we'll talk about the 10 best skills that will push you in the top 1%, right? After that, we'll talk about understanding the Pareto principles. If you know what the skills are, if you know what are the top trending skills, then you would also want to know what is the most effective way in learning those skills in no time. And as a bonus tip at the end, I will tell you where you can get all this information, where you can learn all these skills in no time, right? So coming to the first point, why do we need to upskill in 2022? Now let's just take an example. Back in the year 2005 or 2006, we used to have a new software, right? New application called Microsoft Word. At that particular time, this Microsoft Word would be considered as the most trending thing, right? Most trending skill to know, right? But in the today's world in 2022, the exact same thing, Microsoft Word, is considered as a necessity to be known. Now, with this exact example, is the point that you need to continuously upskill yourself. You need to continuously gain new skills so that you could know where you stand, and also the future perspective of your career can be stabilized. You could be more secure with the career. Now, when I talk about these things, I have four five pointers for you to know. Number one is that I read a report recently. Around 79% of the professionals who are currently working in the industry feel that they have a lack of skill. They have a certain gap in their resume. They have a certain gap in terms of the skills they have. Now, let me tell you, in this year 2022, it is not about the college degree that you have. It is more about how much confident you are in the skills that you have. Right? It does not matter if you are a 12th pass, if you are a college graduate, if you have done MBA, it does not really matter. What really matters is that whether you have the necessary skill that is required to sustain in this industry, this competitive space, right? So number one point is, why do you need to upskill? The first point is the skill gap that the workforce has. There is a lot of gap in between what we know and what we have to know, because the industry is moving in a very fast paced environment. The second point is growing digital technologies and innovation. Now, we used to use floppy disk and CDs before, right? We used to have a lot of shops that used to sell these things. But in today's day, you don't see that anymore, because the technology has changed. The technology has revolutionized from what it was before. Similarly, is the case that we talk about when we hit the 4G revolution, that is in the year 2016, 2017, right? The 4G revolution took by a storm a lot of people. We started using more and more smartphones with to cater that exact thing, to cater the certain changes that happen with the technology. We need to continuously upskill ourselves. We need to continuously get more and more skills that are required to sustain in this industry. So in this session also, I'll be talking about the 10 most important skills that you need to know in 2022. Now let's talk about the next point, that is the why do you need to upskill? Again, you need to increase the level of productivity. Again, it's a very competitive environment around us. We don't want to be lazy. We don't want to be left behind in this competition. Hence, it is very important to increase the level of productivity. The next point that comes is the career growth and enhancement. You want your career growth to be smooth. You want to be ahead of the competition. So you need to upskill. Then people are concerned about job security. Now just imagine that today, in today's world, if you don't upskill, if you remain the way you are, then in the next, when you turn 40, when you turn 60, then you don't would not have the necessary skill to sustain in the industry. Hence, to make sure your job security is there ahead, well ahead in time, when you are in your 40s, when you're in your 50s, so that you could have better growth in your career. So that is why it is really important. Now let's shift our attention to the skills that we are talking about, to the most important skills. So if you would have guessed already, doesn't really matter. The first pointer is very common to everyone. You must have heard 1,000 times that the first most important skill to be known is coding. Yes, it is coding. Coding, often known as computer programming, is the method through which we can communicate with computers. Now, if you use smartphone, if you use applications, if you use anything that has digital presence, everything is through coding. So coding is a must to be learned in this age, in this particular era. It is a necessity to be known. Long gone the days when coding used to be something that only computer engineers used to do. But now in this present scenario, everyone needs to learn coding. Code instructs a machine on what to do. Therefore, writing a code is similar to writing a set of instructions. It is not a very complicated thing to learn. Guys, I'll tell you with my personal experience, it's very easy to learn. It does not require a lot of jargons. It requires a systematic study, and you could be good in coding. You can teach computers what to do or behave, how to behave considerably more quickly if you learn to write the code. Okay, so what are the current hot trending programming languages that you need to learn, right? Coding requires the knowledge of programming languages. What are the most important ones? That is C++, it is Python, it is Java, and it is R, right? Python being the most important one in this, and as well as C++, because lot of softwares are driven by these two programming languages. So coding is a really important to be known, to be learned in this era. So now you would have question, right? You would have question that what would coding include? What is the jobs that would get when we learn coding, right? So I'll tell you about that as well. So the top jobs that are in coding, in computer programming, learning programming is about software development. All the softwares that are run, all the softwares that even the barcode, you use barcode, QR codes these days, all are done through software developers. With then websites are maintained, websites are loaded with web developers. Then you have computer systems engineer that that helps in this building of computer systems, the generations of various systems, right? All these things are done through computer systems engineer. Then to gather all the data that we are generating in massive amounts, then we have database administrators that would look after everything that is being done. After that is when the softwares are ready, the softwares are in hand, everything is done, then you need to maintain, you need to check if the quality is meeting the standards of the industry. So then we have the software quality assurance engineer that helps you do that, that helps you maintain how things are done, what the quality is maintained, whether all the systems are checked properly or not. So these are the five most important coding job profiles that are in high demand these days. So number one thing, coding, number one skill is coding. You need to know coding, and there is no art. And you would know that when I'll be telling the next nine skills, coding is the backbone for most of them. Don't need to worry if you do not know programming. There are certain skills that absolutely no need to learn programming. I'll talk about that as well. Then the second most important aspect is for the non-programmers out there. It doesn't really matter if you know programming, but content marketing is such thing in which you would be required to know about a lot of different stuff that is not related to programming. If you have any doubts, guys, please feel free to put them in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to reply to each of your queries. So when we talk about content marketing, so what does it mean? This means that you must have used YouTube these days, Instagram these days. You would have seen a lot of influencers that have been come up, right? How do they have come up, right? If we were still in the traditional methods of marketing, if we were in the same traditional methods like commercial TV ads, you would have seen ads of companies on billboards while you were driving along the highway. If you have seen the various ads that come up in the newspapers, columns in the newspapers, or pamphlets that have been spread out across the city. Now, these traditional methods of marketing would involve, very little presence of the normal retail people like us, right? They do not have much presence. But in the digital landscape, everyone has their own voice. You can raise your own voice, you can raise your own concern, you can be an influencer that most of the people tend to be these days. So all these things include what? They include content marketing. Includes digital marketing, it includes content marketing. So content marketing is used by businesses to reach and convert potential customers. Now, if you have noticed, when the pandemic hit, right, the companies that in the pre-COVID times, the companies that were not present on the digital space, they have been either abolished or they are forced to shift into the digital landscape. Because if humans are not going out in the streets, they would be on their phones scrolling through internet, right? So they would have lot of different options there in itself, right? So no company wants to miss out on this wonderful opportunity, and everything is present on their smartphones. So this landscape has become more and more competitive. Now, companies don't usually spend more money on traditional marketing. They spend money on mostly digital marketing and content marketing. Only a few content marketers are capable of, yeah, this is the hard reality. Since we are in this space, there are a lot of people who are building content, but there are very few people who are able to handle the workload that comes with digital landscape. That is why it becomes an most important skill to be learned when for the non-programmers, if you do not know programming, if you do not want to do programming, then content marketing is the perfect thing in which you can, make your career out of yourself, in which you would require to have content planning skills. You need to be required to have the understanding of the sales funnel. What is the sales funnel? So it's a funnel basically in which you make sure your potential clients become your actual clients. So how do you drive their behavior? How do you use the data, right? You would have seen a lot of companies these days, they send you cold emails, right? Zomato, you would have seen 60% off on this and this flights, right? A lot of flights give them offers personalized in your emails, right? How does this happen? This is because they have the data and they use the data to give you customized ads, to give you customized user experience. This is what every company is trying to achieve. They want to be more personalized in the way they are selling their products to you. So this is the space in which you would grow, you would learn these things, you would apply these things in the companies that hire you. So the key elements to have in a content marketers are content planning skills, understanding of sales funnel, market research. Yeah, you should have excellent market research. What does this mean? This means that you need to know what are the your market competition, how much they are spending. You want to spend the optimum level that is required to showcase your product, to market your product outside. Then search engine optimization, you need to learn about search engine optimization. Then analytical skills, I'll tell you what search engine optimization is. So if you search anything on Google, if you have searched anything on Google, you would have seen the websites are ranked in a way, right? So how these websites are ranked, this is due to search engine optimization. So it's a way of organically, putting your websites on the top. There are ways to do it. You need to learn those ways, right? I'll give you an example what I'm trying to indicate. Let's say if I search on Google, learn English online. So you would have seen there are certain things like, okay, first is ad, then ad. So after that, wherever their ad is not written, this website that comes at the top is what every company wants to be in. That is the optimum standard. They want to be at the top of Google rankings, of all the search engine rankings. So this is done by content marketers. SEO teams are there, search engine optimization teams are there that do this. Okay, Norul is asking, please explain how to become a front end developer or back end and which language is required. Okay, don't worry, Norul. We will be talking about this in the session ahead. You don't have to worry. Babil is asking, please make video in Hindi. Sorry, due to the constraints, we have to take this session in English. But at the end, I'll also explain in Hindi a little bit. If you want me to do so, please type in the chat box that as well. So, coming on to the session, so the search engine optimization is also a very important skill that needs to be learned. Then is the analytical skill. So, content marketing is a whole is a lot of different things, right? But it's really important, it does not involve any type of coding. You just need to be good in your market research, in search engine optimization. How do you plan your keywords? How keywords play an important role in ranking the website? So all these things are done through content marketing. Now, what are the currently trending jobs that are there in content marketing? That is content writer, content strategist, content marketer, content manager, SEO expert. So these are the five most important job profiles that are currently in demand in content marketing, right? As a fresher, you would probably start off with being the content strategist or a or assistant content strategist. All right. Next most important skill that you need to learn here is UI UX design. Now the user, what is UI UX design? Okay, I'll tell you. It is very easy to understand. The user interface UI and the user experience are two separate aspects of the same customer experience. If you visit any website, just open any website that you like. How the things are maintained in that website, how does the website look aesthetically is done through user interface and user experience, right? So user interface, so it focuses on the designer. So UI designer would focus on the topographic designs, spacing, the color gradients, how well structured the colors are in that particular website, the contrasts that are required, the illustrations that are required. Again, UI UX does not require very hardcore coding. It does not require anything of that sort. Non-programmers, non-programming background people can also do it with ease. Okay. So user experience. What does UX mean? What does UI mean? UI already mentioned that it tells you about how the spacing is maintained in the website. If you go to any website that you like, how the tabs are there, how they are structured, right? All that, the color gradients involved in it, everything is done through user interface designer. Then comes user experience designer. So the main purpose of user experience designer is that they need to understand the customer requirements. Their aspect is to know what the customer really wants. Then they try to understand what are the goals that the customer or the client is trying to achieve, right? In terms of the design, in terms of the user experience of that particular website. Is it very convenient to use? It should not include lot of, jargons. It should be very easy to use. Then then what does the UX do? It brainstorms the user flow. If I'm currently using the website, how will I go? How will I go through the website? What would be my journey in that website in knowing what the website functions like, right? So this user experience designer would utilize that thing. You would keep that in mind. So what they do, they usually create wireframe models. What are these wireframe models? They are basically without any colors. They are simple thing how easy a, a website can be used. It does not require the aesthetics of it. That is the user interface way. User experience is how easy the experience is for that website to be used. All right. Technical tips is asking, sir, I'm pursuing BTech in mechanical engineering. What should I do? Don't worry. Don't worry at all. I'll be talking about all that stuff at the end also, what you should do. Since you are a mechanical engineer, sixth semester, that is, I guess, third year, so you don't really need to be worried too much about it. You can really learn coding from wherever you are as well. You don't really need to be worried about anything right now. Focus on your mechanical engineering and also start, learning about coding bit by bit. I'll tell you how to do that at the end of this session. So stay tuned till then. So we talk about coming back to the session, we talked about UX designers. Now let's talk about what are the key jobs or the key roles that are there in UI and UX design. So the jobs are UX strategist, again experience strategist. What he would do, he would do the market research about all the competitive websites. He'll look around what they offer, how we can simplify it in our ways. So all that is done through user experience strategist. UI designer, again, it would utilize lot of illustrations. It will use Adobe Photoshops and all to see what is more aesthetically beautiful that comes up in the website. Then is information architect. It will know about both UI and UX together combined, how it will function, how it will work. Is it giving a very pleasant look to the user, the customer that would be coming to the website? So all these things are done through UX, UI design. Then comes up UX researcher. Again, he'll research about a lot of different stuff, how you can enhance, how you can break through the industry to different various models. So all these things are done through UI, UX design. So Vishwa is asking which is the language that is required to become a UI designer. So it is not important to learn any programming language. You should know how well structured your brain is, how well structured thinking you have. If you know about illustrations, if you know about color gradients, you would be good to go in this scenario. It is most about the aesthetics of it is how it is portrayed. I'm a PCM graduate. Can I make a career in IT industry? Yes, Deepak, you can. I'm telling you, in 2022, it does not matter that you have a degree, you do not have a degree, or if you have an MBA degree, it doesn't matter. What matter is that do you have the relevant skills or can you gain that relevant skills? Are you willing to gain that relevant skills? That is what is important in today's world. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't really matter, Deepak. You can start from scratch. You can know everything. Stay tuned to this session. At the end, I will be telling you everything from scratch. How would you start doing it? And that too for free. Don't worry about anything. I will be telling you everything at the end of this session. So next, let's talk about what is cloud computing. So cloud computing, basically, this is another hot skill that is in demand these days, and this did not exist about a decade before. Okay, it was rare. Now it is very, very common. Most of the industries, most of the companies have everything on cloud computers or everything on cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? It is the supply of computer services over the internet, including servers, storage, database, networking, analytics, intelligence. Together combined is called cloud computing. Now, if you have a lot of data that you have to store, right? You can't go ahead and save it in your hard drives, right? That does not matter. You have to save it in a large, long servers, big servers, right? Big storage units. That is cloud computing. So, cloud computing is a fascinating new topic that has a potential to transform the way to operate. So, for cloud computing, what is required? Right? What is required to be known for cloud computing? So you need to know about the Linux operating system. You need to know about the database skills. What are these skills? These are MySQL and Hadoop. You need to know about both of these database skills. Then programming languages you need to know. What are these programming languages? It is Java, it is Python. And also you need to be know about what is network management. If you do not know any of these, do not worry. Stay tuned till the end. I will tell you from where you can learn all these skills. So don't get confused. Don't get worried about what I'm telling you. I'm just giving you an outlook of what cloud computing requires. If you want to learn any of the skills, feel free to take screenshot of these so that you can ask me at the end also. I'll be more than happy to answer to all your queries. Then what are the top jobs that we talk about in cloud computing? Now, cloud computing is very fascinating again. So it has again, it has five most important jobs. That is cloud engineer. You start off with cloud engineer. If you have gained that skill, you start off with cloud engineer. Then you become cloud architect. You will design how the storage unit would look like in cloud computing. Then you would again develop the infrastructure as cloud infrastructure engineer. Then you will be knowing about what is cloud, security engineer. What would he do? So he would probably, make sure cyber security is complete, make sure that everything is secured because companies have lot of data, lot of secret data that they don't want to reveal, right? So all these things is done through cloud security engineer. At the end, everything is maintained. Right, everything is maintained through cloud administrator. He comes at the top, he overlooks everything that needs to be done. Okay, Zahid is asking me, is C, C++ important to learn or we can skip this programming language and other programming language? Yes, yes, yes. It is not a systematic way. These are different programming languages. You can start off with any. What I would suggest you should start off with Python and Java because that is the backbone of everything, right? So that answers your question. Okay, someone is asking me, sir, I'm pursuing BTech in CS. Apart from coding, on which skills should I focus? So, if you are doing computer science, that is really good. And if you really want to, do more than that, you would have to learn a lot of skills like, what is not included in your curriculum. That would be what, let's say, learning about MySQL, learning about different databases, learning about, the architectural stuff. You need to do a hands-on work in most of them. Yeah, Amit is asking, sir, I'm working as an operational analyst and I wanted to make a transition in data analytics. Yeah, can you please explain the path and the required skill? Yes, please stay tuned. I have the next set in this particular domain only, how you can switch to data analytics. Don't worry about it. So next is web development. This is also a very easy structured way of knowing this skill, web development. Now, web development are popular across a wide range of industries because every single company, every single business, be it a startup or a very, Fortune 500 company, does not matter. Everyone needs a website these days. So this is done through web developers. Web development is the skill, is the new skill that you need to learn. So for web development, what do you need to do? You need to learn about HTML. You need to learn about JavaScript. UI UX design is what you would do because again, web development needs coding. UI UX does not really need coding. Then you will learn about C Sharp and .NET frameworks. Don't worry about it. Again, I'm telling you, if any of these skills seems that it is too far-fetched, if it is very confusing, don't worry. I will tell you from where you have to learn this, where you can learn these skills. Don't worry about it, right? I have a 4 years gap. Okay, Ragul is asking, Muthu is asking that I have 4 years gap in IT, but currently working in small school. I want to go again in IT. Which course is the best? And can you? Yes, stay tuned, Muthu. I will be telling you about this at the end of the session. Don't worry about this. I have all covered for you all. You just have to wait. I will tell you where to. You can get all these things at one place for free. All right, next we talk about is big data. Now, big data is very important. It is a very essential skill to know. Why? Because just imagine that, okay, you are studying in a school. You have 60 students in your class. You have to maintain their age, date of birth, etc. Right? You can use it in a simple Excel workbook. Now, imagine the same thing to be done for 50 crore people. That cannot be done through Excel, right? For that, you would need much bigger platforms to you can analyze data, to segregate data, to sort and filter data because not every data is clean. So you need to clean that data. So big data is that science of gathering and analyzing large volumes of data. When I talk about large volumes, it is in crores, right? That amount of data you need to extract. Then you need to extract the relevant information, and then you need to make decisions out of it. You need to visualize that data. Then you would, have sound decision making for your company. So what are the steps to learn big data? That is, you have to learn Python, you have to learn R. These are the programming languages. Then you need to learn MySQL. You need to learn about that database. Then you need to learn about visualization tools like Tableau or Power BI, right? Then at the end, you would also need, if you are going ahead, then you need to learn about data mining tools that are NIME, Apache Mouth, Rapid Miner. These three tools you need to know. How you will know, I will tell you at the end of the session. Don't worry about it. But if you want this skill to be in your portfolio, in your resume, take a screenshot of this. You would know what you need to do, right? I will tell you at the end from where you can know these skills. All right. Then comes what are the jobs that are there in big data. So the first job is data architect that takes care about the architecture of database. Then you have the data engineer that sorts, filters, data analyst also. They visualize that data, analyze that data in a way that is more appropriately, structured to be presented to the higher boards of in an organization, right? So it is a well structured way. Then you have database managers that would overlook how the database is functioning. Then data scientists. Data scientists would involve knowing about deep research about artificial intelligence and machine learning as well, right? Next, again, comes up artificial intelligence and machine learning. So, what is this thing, right? These things we are hearing a lot these days, right? Consider it as the most hot trending skill that you need to learn in 2022. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. This would require a lot of effort from your side, right? It would require a lot of effort you need to put in, but you don't need to worry about it. Everything is in step by step manner. You do not have to worry about anything. You just have to focus. You have to believe that yes, you can become an AI ML expert. Don't worry. So what does AI and ML mean? It's if you have seen self-driving cars these days, right? If you have, know about face recognition, if you open, let's say, Lenskart app, it has face recognition. You can put the specs online. How is that happen? It is done through artificial intelligence. Robot surgeries, right, these days are done through AI, artificial intelligence, to know about these things, right? So these all these things that are coming up, like self-driving cars, which is a reality these days, right? So you need to learn about artificial intelligence and machine learning. So keeping note, right? If you are buying anything online, you would know that you get customized suggestion. If you're watching, let's say, a dog's video on Instagram, if you would a reel on Instagram, you would find that your most feed would be filled with dogs. How is that possible? This is through machine learning, because the software knows that you are interested in dogs. So they will show you more and more, videos of dogs and all that stuff. So this is because of machine learning. That is why most of the people, because all the companies at the end want to be personalized in the way they communicate to you. They don't want you to be considered as any other human being. They want you to be special. They want you to feel special in that way. So what are the things, what are the skills that are required to be learned in artificial intelligence and machine learning? That is Python, R again, MySQL, Tableau. Data mining tools are required again, like NIME, Apache Mahout, Rapid Miner. Again, for artificial intelligence and machine learning, what are the three most important things apart from the normal programming, right? That is linear algebra, statistics. Someone was asking me that I have a CS background, I'm doing BTech, what else I can do, right? So you need to learn. If you are already doing things, then you need to make sure you are upskilling yourself. So you would learn about signal processing techniques. You would be learning about linear algebra, higher level algebra, complex algebra, because these artificial intelligence and machine learning requires a lot of mathematics. It involves a lot of complicated mathematics. Then neural network architectures. So these are the things that you need to study apart from what is taught in your curriculum. So what are the top jobs in artificial intelligence and machine learning? It is about machine learning developer, it is about data engineer, and it is data scientist. So these are the three main jobs that you would do when you enter this domain called artificial intelligence and machine learning. And make sure that most of the people, like, they are still not aware about artificial and machine learning, how to learn. Now if just imagine yourself, if you learn these skills, artificial intelligence and machine learning, you will be in an elite club, because in most of the companies, they have a very few experts who know about artificial intelligence and machine learning. So you can be one of them. You can know about these skills in a more greater depth. You can know about these skills going forward, right? Then comes blockchain development. Now, this everyone knows about it these days. If you know about Bitcoin, if you know about, Ethereum, you know about the cryptocurrencies, the craze of cryptocurrencies that have picked up in this world, you would know about blockchains. So what is this blockchain? Now blockchain technology these days have gone into a multi-billion dollar business. How and why? Because of the rise of cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies like Ethereum. So these things, the backbone of their development, the backbone of the technology that they use is blockchain. Now, just imagine if you are an expert in blockchain, you would know about all these things. More and more companies would be willing to hire you, right? So, what are the skills that would be required in this scenario? It would be the database skills. What are these database skills? These are MySQL, Hadoop, programming languages like Java, Python, and network management. So, all these things you need to be learn about blockchain. Now, if I ask you, if you're learning this, what would be the thought process of you learning this? Now, just imagine, blockchain is about decentralized, right? Blockchain is about decentralization of management. The management should be, it is about, it's not about one institution holding all the power. Like, for example, the banks. In every country, we have the Reserve Bank of India, that is the head institutions for banks in India, right? So it governs everything. Now, in order to change it to a decentralized authority in which everyone has access to the information, everyone knows where the information is going. Now, why is this important? Why is it essential to have it? Now, let's say that a bank gave a loan to an individual. Now he cannot repay the loan. Now that becomes a bad debt for the bank, and the bank can go bankrupt, right? So in order for banks to not fail, in order for banks to not give out bad loans, this is a decentralized structure of blockchains that are utilized not only in the case of currencies, in the case of everything that we do, right? For just imagine that all your verifications of your passport verifications, you don't need to present your Aadhaar card or anything to the authorities. If it is in the blockchain network, everyone knows that this is proofread, it is true, it cannot be wrong. So this technology that you have to build up, that requires programming, that requires high-end programming of Java, Python, about database skills of MySQL, Hadoop, even network management should be excellent to know blockchain development. Yes, Patil are asking me, I am a BA graduate. Can I make a career in IT industry? Yes, Patil, you don't have to worry. You can make your career in IT industry. Even in fact, anyone who wants to start, they just have to have the willingness to start, right? We are there to support you. You don't have to worry at any step of the way. You do not have to worry. We are there. We will be providing you with the best and best type of, materials, courses so that you can gain experience in this. You can start your career, you can from scratch. It doesn't matter if you have gap in your resume, it doesn't matter if you are shifting from a non-programming background to a programming background. It doesn't matter. Is important is how good you know that skill, how well you are willing to learn that skill. Rest is on us. We would tell you, we would be more than happy to assist you in your journey to the programming world, in your journey to knowing these skills that are important to be known. Okay, so what are the top jobs in blockchain development? So it is blockchain developer, then it is the blockchain quality analyst, it is the blockchain solution architect. So these are the three main job roles that you would find in blockchain. Right. The ninth most important skill to be learned in this today's world is video marketing. Now, all the content creators that are coming up, even the companies, right? Even the companies, they are putting their marketing efforts in these things in the digital landscape. Now that videos that are posted, they have to be edited, they have to be structured in a way that everyone understands it. So that is done through video marketing. Now video is no longer only a component of total marketing strategy. So it is crucial to your campaigns and outreach activities. What does this mean? This means that video, for example, what used to happen earlier is that you used to see video ads only in commercial TVs, right? That commercial TV used to have production houses that used to build that video, that make that video from scratch, edit it, right? But now that can be done from your laptop as well. You have Adobe Photoshop, you have Premiere Pro, you have, Illustrator that can do same things on your laptops as well. So now everyone can do it. It's not a very high-end thing to do, neither it is a very high-end paying, like you don't have to pay a lot of money to get your video marketing done. You can do it in your computers as well. You can do it itself. So when these things came up, the demand of video editors went up. The demand of the people who are involved in the video segment, they went up. Now what happens is that if you have a YouTube channel, if you have any channel, if you're a company, you have your YouTube channel, so the videos that are posted, they have to be edited. They have to be edited at a very good quality, right? Good resolution. These are done through video editors. Now, their work is to make sure that video is, in terms of the aesthetics, it is the best. That is what a video marketing expert does. So these are the skills. You need to know what is Adobe Photoshop, Premiere Pro, Adobe Illustrator, and Canva. Trust me, if you go ahead in this career of video marketing, if you acquire these skills, you can work as a freelancer in lot of projects. You don't have to be stuck to one company. You can take freelancer as a career. You can, build up different things around it. You can get more and more projects for yourself. Even you can set up your own production house once you are more established in it. You can take on projects, 10, 20 projects in a month. So these skills would make you more entrepreneur when you go ahead in this particular segment. What are the job roles that are there in this particular domain? It is content creator, it is video producer, it is video editor, and it is SEO expert. I already taught you what is search engine optimization. So this is also included in video marketing, right? You would also want your videos to rank higher in the YouTube, right? So this is done through video marketing. Now, for those who have just joined in, did not miss anything. Stay tuned till the very end, because all the skills that I'll be talking about here will be present in one place. I'll tell you where you can learn these skills in a more efficient manner. You can quickly grasp things all for free. You don't have to worry at all. The 10th and the last skill that today we will be talking about is supply chain and logistic management. Now, what is this thing? Right? We have heard about this since childhood that, okay, supply chain networks, logistic management networks, it has been here for ages. But the advancements that have been made in this particular segment has come up in the recent years. Now just imagine you order anything from Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, doesn't matter. It reaches to you within 2 3 days, right? In some cities, in metro cities, it even comes in the same day. Now, how is that possible? It is through the supply chain networks, and now every company who is associated with consumer products, they want their delivery networks to be absolutely fast. Recently in the news, Zomato, they started with a 10-minute delivery. Just imagine you order something and it is there in your at your doorstep in 10 minutes. Isn't that amazing? So this is what supply chain and logistic management has gone ahead, right? Spending and activity in this sector are on the rise as the firms increasingly leverage their supply chain to compete and gain market share. So their main aim is to compete and gain market share. Every company's major aim to is to be personalized with the customers and to increase their market share to gain revenues, right? So the first point is to be cost effective, and businesses are searching for methods to cut cost and create more efficient value chain. Now, there's a concept that you need to know is that is called as just-in-time philosophy or just-in-time concept that is started by Japan, in which all the things are done at the right time, at the right moment, and at the right place, right? You learn all about this in the courses I will be telling you at the end, that too for free. You will learn all about that. You don't have to worry. But what is required from your end is the motivation, is the thing to learn about these skills, to upskill yourselves from where you are currently. Then companies are seeking for methods to create value-added services in order to fulfill the needs of more sophisticated customers. So again, personalized, as I mentioned before, they are more personalized value chains that have to be built up, more personalized way of communicating to the customers that have to be built up. So what are the things that is what you need to know about is just-in-time concept, inventory management, production management, how it is done, the logistic management systems, and supply chain networks. You need to know about that. How is blockchain incorporated in this? That can be your upskilling if you already know supply chain and logistic management. Guys, if you have any questions, you can please keep typing it in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to reply to all of your comments, right? Right. So, what are the top jobs in supply chain and logistic management? It is the supply chain expert. This is how you would start your career in supply chain analyst, maybe supply chain, then you'll become supply chain expert, inventory control manager, production manager, how the production facilities are moving, how you can upskill them. So, your task here would be to make sure the supply chain networks are efficient. You do not have delays in the network that is being done. So, this was all about the top 10 skills that I was talking about. Now, let me focus your attention to how this can be done, how you can incorporate all these 10 skills together at one place, right? Now, I know that most of you would be either working somewhere, or either if you are a fresher, or you are, doesn't matter if you are 30 years old working in an industry, if you are willing to upskill, there is always methods to do so, right? So, there's a principle called Pareto principle. I'll give you a brief outlook of what it is. Pareto principle states that 20% of causes result in 80% of consequences. Very generalized statement. I'll give you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. Okay. So it states that 20% of efforts that you would put, 20% of the efforts that you are willing to put to learn these skills, right? Of the skills, the result you will get is 80%. How is that done? Let's say Out of the top 10 skills, six of them, mostly six of them, have coding as their backbone, right? So if you would know about coding, your 80% job is done. You just need to focus on the next 20%. So this 20% effort would be learning the programming language, learning the coding skills that we talked about, right? So this is what it is required from your end. You need to make sure that you are easily available to learn these skills. Is it doesn't matter if you have 1 hour of time, it doesn't matter if you have 10 hours of time. If you are able to do it consistently, to learn the skills consistently, you will be ahead of the competition. You will be in the top 1% who would be willing to work till the very end. So 20% of the efforts would give you 80% of the results. Don't forget this statement, 20% of your efforts. Now, what I'm talking about, again, the bonus tip that I was going to talk about, right? So, what is this bonus tip that I'm talking about? So, we here at Great Learning, we have our free courses for all of you guys who want to learn and transform their career. How it is done? It is done through a academy that we call Great Learning Academy. I'll showcase the website to you as well. So if you go to Google and type Great Learning Academy and click on this particular website called mygreatlearning.com/academy, you will come up to this particular page, right? Now, what you need to do is that you need to scroll down. You would see a lot of courses that have come up. Now, I talked about some people asked me about the gaps they had. Some people talked about they want to learn coding, they want to get back in the IT industry and all that stuff. So how will they do it? If you go to the courses, right? My team will share this particular website in the chat box as well. So if you go to that website, you would find there are a lot of courses mentioned here. We have tons of courses here. You can just click on any. If you want to know about IT and software, if you want to learn about that, we have all things. Someone was asking me whether to learn about Java programming or whether to know about Python. You have both of them. We are here. Python fundamentals for beginners. And mind you, these courses are absolutely free. So you can enroll yourself right now. You can go to Java programming. You can know what it is about. You can read what are the skills you will be learning here. You can know, okay, this is a 2 hours of content. You have quiz. You can get a certificate out of it, right? You will be getting a certificate out of it, and you will know what is the skill. You can gain that skill. You can put that in your resume. You can apply for all the companies ahead, right? We talked about machine learning. We have a free course for machine learning as well, Introduction to Machine Learning. For artificial intelligence, also we have a course. For data management, database management, we have the course here, right? For cloud foundations, like I talked about the skill that is most trending is cloud computing. You have the course for that as well. Now, if you are from a non-coding background, if you are from a background that you do not want to do coding, again, we have a platform, we have a course for that in digital marketing, content marketing, right? Marketing mix. You have all the basic thing, Instagram marketing, right? Search engine optimization. I talked about in two segments, video marketing and in content marketing, that search engine optimization is must to learn for beginners. Now, this is search engine optimization that is there, and you can learn about that in the course. You can enroll yourself in this course and you will get a free certificate after the successful completion of the course. You can put that in your CV and you can apply for companies, right? Isn't that great? Then we talked about the designing of UI UX design. You have UX portfolio career. We talked about, as I mentioned, you can talk about that in you can learn about that in this courses as well. Okay, graphic design workshop courses also there. See, we have everything present here. You just have to go to mygreatlearning.com/academy. You just search in any of the search engines, Great Learning Academy. Open that website, scroll down, see the course that you want to enroll in the courses, because this is literally the best knowledge you can get out there, right? That too absolutely free, and also you will be gaining a certificate so you can put that in your CV. Does age factor matter in placement or not? No, Deepak, it does not matter. What really matters is, again, I'll be reiterating, how well are your skills? If your skills are to the level in which they are really impressed by what the work that you are doing, age does not matter. You have to be willing to upskill yourself. You'll be willing to learn new skills. That is what is important. Then we talked about big data, right? We have ample courses in big data. You can consider picking up any course that you like. You can just click on any of the courses that you want to do. Mastering big data analytics, you can know, okay, right? See, for example, this course is beginner. So start from the beginner level courses, go to the intermediate courses, and you will learn ample knowledge out of it, right? Then we talked about a lot of different cyber security, right? You have courses for cyber security as well. We have courses for artificial intelligence, data science, right? Someone asked me about how do you learn big data and data analytics, right? You have data science foundations. You can enroll in this course, and it is these courses are by the top faculties of the world. Okay, so you don't have to worry about whether the content would be good or bad. It is the excellent content that is available on the platform, right? Then we have again we talked about digital marketing for college. You have a lot of different stuff that you can upskill yourself. IT and software, there are tons and tons of courses. Again, I mentioned about languages, right? Someone was checking which language to choose, right? Someone asked me about front end and back end, right? You can find that course here as well. So this was about it. You just have to enroll yourself in these courses because this is just a pure ocean of knowledge. Enroll yourself, get the certificates, apply for jobs. This is how you will gain knowledge. This is how you will exceed in your career going forward. Again, don't forget the 10 skills that I talked about. Make sure that you have at least five of those skills in your portfolio, in your resume, so that you can be ahead of the competition. With this, if you have any queries, any questions, I'll be taking the questions right now. You can put them in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to answer. And also, we are taking these live sessions daily, so make sure you stay tuned with us at two timings. One is 12 p.m. that you are currently attending, and the next one is at 5 p.m. So at 5 p.m., you will actually know how you would actually land your dream job. What are the secrets, right? If you have been applying to a lot of companies and if you are constantly being rejected by those companies, what are the things that you need to change? So my colleague Shantanu Rana will be taking this course, this particular session at 5 p.m. today. So make sure you are available in that time slot to attend that session because again, that is going to be a knowledge pack session for you. If you're looking out for jobs, that is the perfect thing. How to, land your dream job, he'll be telling you in detail in that session. So make sure that you are available in that time slot. Okay. Okay, Deepak is asking me, as a PCM graduate, what should I prefer? Coding, data science, or AI? So, Deepak, I would say that when you are starting out, right, as a PCM graduate, you should start by learning Python. You should start by learning about the programming languages bit by bit, right? Then you would, namely Python and R. Then go ahead and learn about data science. That would be the course for a non-programming. That is the most simplest course to be in when you want to enter the IT sector. Thank you, Zahid. I am happy that you liked the session. Any other queries, guys? I'll be answering your queries. If you have any queries, feel free to type them in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to take your queries. Again, I'm reiterating, this is Great Learning Academy. You can enroll yourselves in tons and tons of courses that we have available free of cost, and also you can get a certificate out of it. This is the best way, this is the best start you can get to upskill yourself. All right, you can even learn about the career transitions we have done, the testimonials, you can read about that as well. All right, guys. Thank you so much for attending this session. I'll be signing off right now. See you at 5 p.m. My colleague Shantanu Rana will be taking the session on how to land your dream job. What are the secrets behind landing your dream job? So stay tuned to the 5 p.m. session. Thank you so much.